Hello and welcome back to Australia. We are still in Perth as we continue to react to the very first edition of the Round Trip, Tyre Recycling and Conveyor Belt Summit, presented by Tyre Stewardship Australia and Tyrewise. Tyrewise completed its first year of activity recently, and some of its early success can be attributed to its data collection operation, headed up by Data and Systems Manager Cam Edwards. Cam started by explaining to us the importance of data collection in planning the Tyrewise scheme for the weeks and years ahead.
So I look after data and systems for Tyrewise in New Zealand. So the data we collect is important because it helps us plan the scheme. So both immediately, like what needs to happen next week and what needs to happen in the years moving forward. So that's processing capacity, end use capacity, how many transporters we need, all these pieces of the puzzle. And then on the other side, it helps us find patterns of user behavior. So looking for if people are trying to game the system potentially, where tyres are leaking out into the environment. So areas where there's suspicious activity, and helps us with making sure the payments for the transport and processing is done right as well.
Following this, we asked Cam to give us some insight into the key findings that Tyrewise has obtained from its data collection operation.
Yeah, so we kind of knew what to expect broadly, but the terms of the volumes and capacities being moved in the scheme already are really massive. So we're approaching 100,000 jobs that have been booked for collection, which is heaps for the first, what are we now, 14, 15 months? Yeah, so we found that we all kind of track how far tyres are travelling is quite interesting. So certain parts of the country, we know they're remote, so tyres were travelling a long way. But even in bigger areas like the North Island, tyres were travelling, say, from Wellington region up towards Hamilton or Auckland for their disposal, which is hundreds of kilometres paid for travel. So the data's helped us find these long distance routes at certain times to help us save money, save carbon emissions, and make the transporters and ourselves more efficient.
Fraud prevention was the next topic on our radar, and Cam explained how data collection feeds into preventing fraud in the system.
When tyres are collected, the truck driver counts how many tyres, then the system calculates a weight bracket it thinks the job should be in. So then when the driver goes over a weighbridge and weighs the job, if it's not close to the estimate, it's a flag put on the job, which means it will get checked manually by a Tyrewise team. So there are 20 or 30 different checks that jobs go against for payment. So that's one example of an automatic flagging. Other things are distances that look strange. So something's gone from the example for Wellington up to Auckland. Why has the job gone so far? So that gets flagged automatically. And we're starting to do image recognition of tyre pictures to try and find, like, these tyres look like they're caked in mud, or these ones have rims in them and stuff like that. So those can get flagged for manual checking.
So how do Tyrewise respond to potential incidents of fraud? Cam detailed how the system reacts to these cases.
Just contacting the transporter, asking for explanation, reviewing the pictures the driver uploaded for the job, reviewing a job's timeline. So if it's picked up in Wellington at 9 a.m. and dropped off in Auckland at 10 a.m., that obviously isn't going to make sense in New Zealand. So most of the checking's done in office on site. We also have Tyrewise field reps, 4 or 5 around the country, who are visiting sites, and sometimes their visits are planned to coincide with investigations that are needed, or also going out and training the transporters so that they are doing the jobs properly and not creating these flags in the first place.
Thanks for being a part of episode 5 in TRR's Video Insights from the 2025 Round Trip, Tyre and Conveyor Belt Recycling Summit. Thank you to Cam for participating as well, and keep your eyes on our socials for another video insight coming up soon.